Yeah, I think we need a bigger board.
That's another long title.
Yeah, we might work on that
That's
again.
my fault. I created that.
Okie dokie. Well, mood boards. So let's top 5 reasons why creating mood boards. I know.
This is the Rising High Extended Tea Break, the game dev podcast bringing you the best practical, actionable advice for indie game developers. Brought to you by RisingHighAcademy.com. The kettle's on, so let's go listen in.
Hey there, and welcome to episode 11 of the Rising High Extended Tea Break. My name is Kevin, and I am joined with Jilly today. Hello, Jilly.
Hello.
How are we today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okie dokie. So, what's at the top of the pops today?
Top of the pops today, I thought we'd have a chat about mood boards.
Okay.
So we've come up with a very long title, again, my fault, of the top 5 reasons why creating mood boards are an essential starting point for game development.
Yeah, nice and snappy that one.
It was a snappy one, wasn't it?
Okay, so mood boards. Why creating mood boards are an essential starting point for game development. So
Or even, what is a mood board?
Let's start off by explaining what a mood board is, or in the Rising Highland, what a mood board is. Now, you may be familiar with what are vision boards or dream boards, which is essentially a collection of images that you go off and collect from various sources.
Like a montage.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
So we go around and we choose pictures off the internet that really reflect our thoughts at any given time and stuff that catches our eye. Okay, let's back up a bit. Let's get this a little bit more specific, because I think that would be the best way to do it. Let's come up with a game on the fly about something. What we're going to make a game about?
Mystical creatures.
Okay, perfect. So, mystical... you have to pick one I
you
can't
can
say.
say it.
Yeah. Oh, my God. All right, here we go.
Creatures of myth.
Let's go for creatures.
Yeah.
Mystical ones.
Okay.
And so we would do that. That is the search we put into Google. Then on Google, they've got the handy little image tab. So flick over to that, and that will give you everything that Google reckons that it's going to serve you up with mystical creatures. Now, from that, you might have a good idea in your head what sort of thing you're looking for when you're building your game.
What kind of type of creature.
But what the mood board does is it allows you to actually visualize and get some point of reference for other creations from the creatures. Oh my God, that didn't make sense. So let's try it again. So we've done our search for... I'm going to go for monsters. Because I can't say that word for some reason.
We're going monsters.
So we're doing a monster game. We do a search on Google Images for monsters, and that will give us an absolute plethora of monster images. From those monster images, we then go and collect the ones that we like the look of.
Yeah.
We are looking for anything that we find inspiring. Anything we go, oh, I love the eyes on that one.
Yeah.
Copy, paste into a document, and our mood board has begun. Okay. So we like to start off with normally like a 3,000 by 6,000 image. Like
Mind you, do you
huge.
actually have to specify, like, if you're looking for a polygon type image or a pixel?
No, literally
pictures.
The very first start of the mood board is to start collating stuff. Any point of reference, doesn't matter what you've got in your mind's eye, really. Yeah. It's about collating these monster images that have some value to you.
Okay.
So it could be the eyes on that one. It could be the colour of another one.
Okay.
It could be a pixel one or a polygon one that you like.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making a polygon or pixel game yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to take that because I like this pixely one.
Literal first ideas.
Absolutely. So you're collating all these ideas down. And like I said, we get a massive document together. It's something like 3,000 by 6,000. Or it doesn't matter really. Just like a real big, so you're not going to run out of space. And we literally just paste them on. And we start, as you rightly said, we start pasting them on and making a montage.
Yeah.
And after 5, 10, 15 minutes, we've got a ton of images that for whatever reason, we like the look of.
Yeah.
So it could be the pixely one of that, but I like the colours of the polygon one, or stuff like that. Excuse me. So it's all about recording stuff that inspires you, excites you, makes you smile. It's all about the emotion at this point and the visual style of stuff to give you this central point of reference that you're going to refer back to and start it off. Now, we've done plenty of these on the Watchers Build inside the Academy.
Yeah.
On the games that we did for that, we've done a couple of mood boards at best. So we normally do several rounds.
So well, I know. Sorry, to interrupt you. I know. I usually go home and I don't do the Photoshop thing that you do, but I will screenshot. I'll go onto the App Store and look at games I like, and I'll screenshot one of their shots, and I'll just leave all them in an album on my iPad.
Yeah, that's right.
And I flick through them that way.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's several different ways.
Yeah, I mean, the actual application of it, I don't think is massively important. What is important is that they do end up collated, so you put them together.
Yeah.
So this is almost like your favourite picks of stuff. And then much like the talent shows, they get weaned down. They get all thrown on the table, as it were, the photos.
Yeah.
And then you pick. Now, you're going to have a relatively good idea what you're going to be heading towards anyway, right? So we're going to do a polygon monster game, a polygon-style monster game, right? And I've got loads of pixel pictures. That's still okay because it might be the colours that I like in that one.
Okay.
It might be the way a certain shape. It might be a pixel monster, but he's got like big spikes on his head. And I really like that. And it doesn't matter that it's pixely because we're going to make that in a polygon style, but I'm recording the spikes.
Yeah.
And what this does, it makes sure you don't lose this stuff. You know, there's nothing worse than you're making a game and you go, oh, I want to do this like this thing I saw, but I don't know where I saw it. I saw it somewhere on the internet. It's so cool. You got to see it. I can't remember. You need to see
that
it.
can take you months to find again.
You know, unless you're like a total, you know, you drill down into your history or whatever, you're never going to find it again. You have no idea what you search for or how you come about it. You know, it's the internet jumping. You click on this and you click on that, then you click on this, and then you're lost, and you can't remember it. So this is about the exploration of all the light, the palette, the form, the expressions, the emotions, all this stuff, anything.
I suppose you could go with the environments as well, like backgrounds and things.
Absolutely.
You like.
Yeah, there is literally no constraints here. This is all about recording stuff, and then you go into phase 2 and you whittle it down.
Yeah.
Now I can't help myself. We make them quite fancy, but you really don't need to. They are literally just a dumping ground of images that we should then whittle down and go to the next stage. Because sometimes you pick ones that's like, I don't really know why I picked that now. Yeah. And you can discard
that.
But yeah, so that, I hope that makes sense from what a mood board is. To wrap it up in a nice little thing, it is a collection of images that you find inspirational, aspirational, and you generally like the aesthetics, form, or whatever of. It's just
it's. I always see it as kind of you're collecting little parts of the jigsaw.
Yeah, okay, that's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, you want to make a picture from.
Yeah,
I wouldn't like to see the ones I make.
Well, no, we don't want to go there. I might lie, but there you go. Okay, so hold on a minute. We went to do lists on these things. Have we got a list?
We do have a list.
Let's try and get on a list and then mash it up as soon as possible.
Okay, let's go then. Number 1. It helps you to set the right tone to reflect the mood of your game.
Yeah, so this is all about the mood and the tone. So we've talked about doing silly games before, and more classic games like Monument Valley or something. So this is where you can it can shape the way the game is gonna feel. So it's like all
Kind of like
encompassing.
depicting an emotion.
Yeah, it's really
That sort of
weird to
thing.
put into
Yeah,
words. Really,
it's more
this
of a
one.
mood, isn't it?
It is really much
Yeah.
a mood. It's the feel. And although it can have specifics, like we said about the spikes on his head, it's really meant to be like the overall overarching feel of of stuff. And I guess this is where I was trying to say before, we like do several rounds.
Yeah.
It kind of the more you start sort of weaning out stuff that you know you don't like or you're not sure why you
kind of
saved
end
it.
up honing in on something that
You naturally
doesn't describe
hone
it,
in
yeah.
on a specific thing that you've captured, and that will start to drive the project in
Yeah.
the way that how you're feeling about it. Especially if you don't have any real clear-cut idea of what you're going for to start with. It's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh, I
it
don't
can
know.
help.
Well, this is where the mood boards come in, because it really puts in your face exactly what you do and don't like on any given day.
Yeah.
So what the hell was number one? What was that?
Helps you to set the right tone to reflect the mood of your game.
Yeah, I think so. I think that one's intertwined with all of them. So I reckon we should go to number two, and I need to make more sense out of number one.
Number two, all your ideas into a visual form gives you something tangible to look at.
Yeah, I think that's number one.
Yeah, that's kind of what we've just said.
Yeah, that's
isn't
number
it?
one. That is all your ideas into a visual form, and gets you going.
It's something to look at as well.
It's something to look at.
Yeah.
You know, you have all these ideas in your head, and they are often lost fast, especially when you're, it's so exciting when you're starting a new project, especially, and you've got all these ideas, and what the mood board does, it makes it into a thing, and it goes, right, yeah, that's the sort of thing I was thinking about, and now you've got that on something physical, albeit digital, whatever, right? A digital format of something that you can actually reference back to. And
it's like you're saying about the monsters. I mean, if you've got, different parts of the jigsaw, I'm going to call it,
okay,
like with the eyes you like, or the tail you like, or the spikes you like, you can kind of sketch something rough from that as well.
Of course, yeah.
To put it all together.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
And that's another avenue to inspire, especially if you're a character.
Of course, yeah, for characters especially, but even, well, I don't think especially is the right word there. I think everything.
Yeah.
I like a lot of the architecture stuff. I can see, I tell you, the ones that I often like are these matte paintings and these fantasy paintings where you've got all these like weird, it could either be sci-fi or like Lord of the Ringy type stuff.
Yeah.
But they've got great sort of structures and that, and all of this stuff you can go, oh, I really like this of that bit. And that one tiny little subsection of a painting could drive the way that you do something else within your game.
Definitely.
It's like the inspiration of it all. Okay, this honestly, this list, I'm totally lost.
Well, it's not really a list. It's kind of guide points really
Okay.
that we're covering.
Okay, well, let's
kind
try.
of leads into number 3 anyway.
Does it?
Helps to visualise and potentially determine your game's colour palette.
Oh yeah, I've changed number one. Number one is colour. Number one's colour palette, because this is a really important part of it.
See, that's what I look at first.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. It's one of the major parts of that, because it drives the colour. Because then now you're matching your idea with colours, and that goes into the colour theory side of things. Are you doing like a fast game or a slow game or a hot or a cold game? All this kind of stuff. But the palette is a critical part, because you can see you can take a snapshot of something you really like the look of. And this is great for when we talk about our game fusion, where you say, right, I love the light. Everyone knows Tron, right? The neon stripes in Tron. But I was thinking about doing our monster game. Well, hold on a minute. Why don't we take the colours from Tron and put them into a monster? And if not the monster, maybe the monster's armour.
Yeah.
And this is where the mood board, you can start connecting dots
Mixing
up.
and matching.
And actually come up with some pretty unique stuff. You go, oh, I really like those spikes. Those spikes on the monster's head. Why don't they have like neon Tron tips?
Yeah.
Now, where did that come from?
Or teeth.
Or what, teeth?
Yeah, neon teeth.
Alive. That's scary. But can you see, just by us talking, we've come up with a Tron neon spiked teethy monster.
Dinosaur thing. Yeah.
Dinosaur?
Well, I kind of felt like a dinosaur at the
No,
time.
I'm teasing. But can you see, this is what the mood board does, but it puts it in a visual platform that you can actually cross-reference all the time. And once you've done them and put all this stuff in, it's there forever to keep coming back to.
Yeah.
And even if the Tron tip spike things didn't work out, then maybe something else, like maybe the monster's got a hammer. And now the hammer's got the Tron tip or the neon tip.
Yeah.
And maybe it was blue in the screenshot, but you've got this purple thing that you liked over there, this sunset. So now instead of the blue stripe on the Tron, you've now got the purple stripe. And all this kind of stuff. And it's really easy to start seeing this stuff when it's in front of you, all together and mixing and merging. Okay. Something about palettes or something. I'm getting so excited. I love this
your
stuff.
game's colour palette. Yeah,
Yeah, it does. Sunsets are a great one as well. If you're going for that muted look, you can drop the colours of the sunset and pixelise it and all that stuff. You can do some really cool stuff. But also as well, if you're collecting stuff that is like totally random, sometimes putting them together, even by the nature of copying and pasting an image next to each other that you just dumping it on a montage thing, you go, actually, that blue works really well with that red.
Yeah,
I hadn't thought of
it.
that. And it's this massive melting pot of stuff. It's pretty powerful.
It's more the mood for me. I don't know, perhaps I look at it differently. I know there was one picture we collected for, I don't know if it was one of the courses or a game we were thinking about, but it was like a desert picture. So we had all sort of the browns and the yellows. And that was kind of at night. And there was, I think, 2 people sitting under like a rock.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know.
With a little fire.
A little fire, that's right.
And it was just the atmosphere.
Yeah, well, that's
me,
it, though,
just
isn't
lovely.
it? I mean, I banged on about, because we were talking about the colour palettes, but the overall mood and the atmosphere, I know exactly the picture you mean, because I felt the same. It's like a polygon view.
That's it.
And it's like in the middle of a desert. Imagine like a couple of cowboys, and they're not cowboys, but a couple of cowboys out in a desert, and you're zoomed out as a bird's eye view of it, and they're by a big rock, and they've just got a little campfire, and you saw it, and you go, oh, that's kind of mysterious,
it was really lovely,
and it's really cool, and that is something you can't really get over in words.
No.
And when you look at our imaginary picture that I've just said, we both felt something, and that's where the mood board is super powerful. Because you go, I don't know what it is, but I want that scale. I want that feeling.
Yeah.
And that's
you
how...
can be thinking of a game and see a picture like that and think, well, why not turn it into a night game?
Well, I remember seeing that picture, and I want to do a runner out of that game. I really
haven't done it yet, have you?
No. But no, I really wanted to do a little runner, because I think I said to you, as soon as I can see a little dude just running past that.
Yeah.
You know, it just felt right. And because we've gone and done this exercise, these ideas are forming, even though it was nothing to do with whatever we were doing at the time. So that's pretty cool. But so atmosphere and palette, that's definitely, we're going to have to rearrange the list, I think.
Yeah.
Atmosphere and palette for sure.
Yeah, they're the drive.
They're the two biggies for me. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, kind of number 4 that leads into, it helps you to not lose your interesting images that you find.
Well, this is it. This is a big one.
Don't throw it all away at the first off.
Well, this is it. This is what we're saying about,
you might change your
God,
mind
I can't
and then,
believe it. You've got to see this picture. Where did I put it?
Oops.
Oops. Yeah, exactly. So that is a biggie. That one there, when you're on your sort of image finding and searching
really,
for stuff,
really frustrating.
Yeah, it is pretty hardcore, isn't it? So
it is if you kind of you think along kind of one line and one picture leads you down another way, and you think, well, there was another one like that.
Exactly. I mean, Google Images, once you click on one of the images you like, they've got a related box and a see more thing. Excuse me. So you can go like further in all the time.
Yeah.
And you go down these rabbit holes of what is the internet. So yeah, definitely keeps all these ideas, and even sometimes as well, you can pick up something that isn't necessarily related to what you're doing at that point. Going, actually, that's a really good UI screen there.
Yeah,
I love the way they've done that. I mean, Pinterest especially is great for this. So I highly recommend going onto Pinterest as well as Google Images. honestly, if you do a search for this stuff, you'll come across a Pinterest page.
Well, it's a search we used to do. I remember thinking of different subject. I know art direction. We searched.
Yeah, I think you can search for pretty much anything.
Quite a lot of UI stuff comes up.
I mean, if you search for game UI on Pinterest, you'll get tons.
Yeah.
And there is some epic stuff on there. But by doing this sort of stuff, especially if you're doing a sort of like monster game, say, if you put game in the title, eventually you'll come across some UI screens. And that's another one that can go on your mood board. So that's the other aspect, aside from the game building ideas, flow and all of that kind of stuff. You can get your UI ideas. You go, actually, look at the way they've done their character thingy.
Yeah.
Or look at the way their coin shops laid out.
Yeah.
And then you can start cherry picking the bits you really like. And of course you go, oh yeah, I saw this game and they had such a good character selector thing. What was that game? Something Jump.
Yeah.
And you go, I better not search for Jump on the App Store because...
No, honestly, you'll be here till next year.
And some, yeah. So this is another way. Just copy it. I mean, you could do two, I suppose. You could do like a UI.
You could have a UI one.
Yeah, I would recommend against that.
Yeah, the trouble is with that is you could end up with several different folders and...
yeah, I mean, I don't think...
You never see anything together then?
Yeah, I think that's the cruncher. I don't think it's too bad from an organisational point of view having a couple of separate ones. But for me, the whole essence of these mood boards
is
to see it all together, because then it starts forming into one, and you take these elements and all this stuff. And I think the UIs are. I don't know if that was on the list, but that should have been. That's a really good one too.
It wasn't on the list.
No, of course it wasn't. I don't know why we bothered doing these lists, but we continue. So I think that's a really important part. So it's not exclusive to gameplay or characters or anything like this. UI is a really good one, and you can definitely find some cool stuff in the UI. I mean, I've seen some UIs where you can make a game out of them. Yeah, for sure. On Pinterest, there's some really cool stuff. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, that's another one you could get lost in for days. Pinterest.
For sure, yeah.
And there's some stunning stuff.
Honestly, I have to keep off there.
Yeah.
Because what you'll find on Pinterest as well, you'll find. Now, I don't know if they're actually legal versions of them or they've been like hacked from China, but a lot of the time you see the workboards of games, like almost like the atlases.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't know what an atlas is, it's like it's a game file that loads up all your sprites, and they'll post all the. You don't see too many atlases. You see a lot of like storyboards and mocks.
Yeah. And
like original artwork from games that you'd all know if you saw them. And it's like the artist sort of almost like a portfolio piece.
Oh, okay.
Where they put together like sketches and then progress. It's fascinating, and some of the stuff, like maps is a really good one. Like you get some elaborate game maps.
Oh yeah.
They do and when you have to like scroll up to see the map, and you never see it in its entirety.
Yeah.
They do a massive Photoshop picture of like 10,000 pixels
of
the whole lot, and you just go wow, and you really get to appreciate the work. I mean I dig that so badly.
I mean, even looking through them, the inspiration on those is just
exactly. It's utterly inspirational, and that's why I can't go on it very often. Because
I'm not allowed.
I could sit there for days, I swear, honestly. Just feed me coffee and I'm happy with that. Okay, no idea.
No, it's all kind of the one thing. My last point was it's a central point of reference for your game's inspiration.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's the one. It's central station.
I think when we build, there are many times when we are at a stage of a project and we go, let's look at the mood board.
Yeah.
We come back to it because it reignites all the emotion that we do when we're putting them together. It keeps us on track as well to say, right, this was what we were heading for.
Yeah.
Are we hitting the goal that we wanted to achieve here? Have we met our own sort of internal goals here? When we saw that picture with the cowboys in there, did we get the sense of how that does our game
wanted it to feel?
Yeah, does our game feel the same as how we felt when we saw that picture? and it's a real good leveler and a
I think
balancer.
it's something you should visit often through your
Yeah, I definitely do.
Because there's times I know we've looked back and come across like the picture we've just talked about, and we kind of said, "Oh, I didn't put that in."
That's right.
Completely forgot we were going to do that.
But what is interesting is that when you do go back, you've got that reference there to remind you.
Yeah.
Now, if you saw it on the internet, then that thought and the idea would have been lost forever. And sometimes that's a real tragic shame. So I think that is coming to sort of...
I think this explains mood boards.
Yeah, mood boards, they're really cool. You should definitely do them when you start your project. We start every project with them.
They're a good thing to do as well if you're not too sure of what you want to build.
Yeah.
You know, plug away and make a few montages of things you do like.
Yeah, that's right. Put it together and see, like, what fires you up? Why are you making games? What do you love about making games? What is there that you can grab a picture of to go, this is why I love building games?
Yeah.
Now, if you do that for 20 minutes, half an hour, and then you end up with like a big, loads of screenshots of all your favourite games, you might see Mario jumping over and that screenshot's overlapping into Tomb Raider or something, right? And then all of a sudden you've got a character that's jumping...
You've got a Mario Tomb Raider.
Well... Honestly, Mario and Tomb Raider aside, you could have a character that's jumping a different way into a level on another game.
Yeah.
It's kind of madness, and it is a massive melting pot of stuff.
You can do the same with films as well. If you've got a film, especially a fantasy film, Lord of the Rings type film, just search for that.
Yeah.
And a whole load of...
Now, we've actually watched some, was it? Harry Potter, no, it was Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
When we were looking for some level design ideas.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. And he was going across the cave on the stone pillars,
like column things.
That's it.
Yeah.
They were breaking away.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I remember that.
We screenshotted that. That was a screenshot and went in our mood board.
Yeah.
That's
in the academy somewhere, I think.
I think so. Yeah. As is everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that just about wraps it up, Julie. I think that does a pretty good explanation about mood boards and why we feel they're super powerful and why we always start there when we make our games. Yeah. So let's do a recap, if it's at all worth it, because I don't know.
It's kind of all one. We've got number one, helps you to set the right tone.
Yeah.
Reflect the mood of your game. So if you're looking for a night-timey game, or you see pictures that you think, oh, actually that looked really good at night.
Yeah.
Number two, all your ideas into a visual form, something to look at, and a good reference. Number three, helps to visualise and potentially determine your game's colour palette.
For
colour
sure.
palette is just really important. Number four, helps you not lose interesting images you find.
Absolutely.
Or speak properly. Number five, central point of reference for your game's inspiration. It is the be-all and end-all.
It's that thing to look back and keep you on track.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so I enjoyed that. I get fired up with mood boards. I just get so excited. It's ridiculous. I need to have a word with myself. That's right. I need to behave. Okay, so thanks very much for listening today. I hope you found that interesting. Just a quick heads up on the Academy. You can get the show notes, and we are going to post one of our mood boards onto the show notes page this week.
Okay.
I think we should take one outside the Academy, and that might help people understand what we've been jibber-jabbering on about. Head over to RisingHighAcademy.com/11 for this one. Check out one of our mood boards so you can get a better idea of what we've been talking about. We still do have our 10 days for $10 if you want to have a test drive around the Academy for a stupid low price. That's about all for us this week. So again, thanks for listening. If you are enjoying the show, we would super appreciate hitting that subscribe button, leaving us a rating and review, and of course you can send us a message over on the website if you want a question answered by myself and Julie on the podcast. And with that, I will bid you farewell, and thanks again for listening.
Yeah, thank you. Take care.
You've been listening to the Rising High Extended Tea Break. To learn more about the resources mentioned in today's show, or to find out more about the Rising High Academy, visit risinghighacademy.com. That's risinghighacademy.com.